Welcome to the Awaken Woman podcast, everybody. My name is Claire Bird. I am the confidence and identity coach here at Inspired Lifestyles, and I'm really grateful to have you listening to today's episode. We're up to episode 11, season 2, and this is going to be amazing. I hope you were able to catch on to last week's episode with Teresa Stuber, where we were talking about stepping into your confidence and your power as a mum, as a wife, and I'm following on that today with today's episode where we as women, for some weird reason, feel that being taken care of is a sign of weakness. I'm here to tell you that it's not, and it's actually essential for our balancing our rhythmic energies as both masculine and feminine beings here in this human existence. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. I hope you've loved all of the guests. The comments coming through have been phenomenal. If you feel brave enough to leave me a beautiful comment, that would be awesome. And I'll personally get back to you and say thank you so much. So like I said, you're listening to today's episode 11, where we are going to be talking about being taken care of. Now, it is not so much of feeling snuggy and handing money every week and having an allowance and being the trophy wife. That is not what being taken care of is. Or for me, it's not what feeling taken care of is. Being taken care of is so much more for me on an emotional level. It is a spiritual level, and it is a level that allows me to take someone into the closest part of me, that I trust them enough to see me at my best, to see me at my worst, and for them just to give me space to just be. Now, in my chat last week, I spoke to Teresa about the power of creating a community that you feel so comfortable in that allows you to be silent, because there is so much to be said and so much power in silence when you feel you are being listened to, when you feel that you are being seen, that you feel that you are being heard, when you feel like you are actually being noticed as a woman first and foremost, not as a mum, as a wife as well. When you feel into that, everything changes, and that is what is so important. Okay, as a woman, we must be allowing others to help take care of us. We are pack animals, ladies. We are not meant to be doing this alone. And as Teresa said last week, and as I totally agree, we need community around us, whether it is helping with the kids, helping with our to-do list, whether it's just guidance in general, finding a community or finding somebody who is going to help you break down those walls so that you can actually allow someone to take care of you and nourish you. So self-care is amazing, and self-care, if you followed along for a little while now, you'll know for me, self-care is way more than just a bubble bath. Self-care is for me not a bubble bath and some pretty music and wishing the day away and then having a great night's sleep so that tomorrow you can do it all again. Self-care for me is allowing myself to rest. Now, not just sit on the couch with Netflix, but actually rest and not feel guilty for the things that I should be doing. Now, you've been following along, you will know that there is a very different in my language style between should and have, get to, have to mindset. I'm a really big preacher on this because there were moments in my life when I was working in the corporate that I felt I didn't have a choice. I was chasing the gold stars. I was chasing the to-do list. So I put everything above what I really felt into. So I was living heavily in my masculine energy, heavy in my productive energy that saw me having to do a lot and prioritizing things and over moments, prioritizing other people over my own family. And that saw me go down into a spiral that made me feel so resentful of everybody around me, because I didn't feel like I was taken care of. I didn't feel like people were seeing me. I didn't feel that people were hearing me. I really felt so alone that it was more self-imposed, because I had created this energy around me that was repelling. It was an energy that, it's too hard. This chick is just too hard. You know, those ladies that we always come across, girls that, just make everything dramatic. Everything is just so difficult. That was the kind of person I had portrayed to the world, because I'd set a super, super high standard of what I wanted I couldn't even live up to that standard, so nobody else would. And what that allowed me to do is it allowed me to create my own victim mindset because, well, if no one can do it the way that I can do it, I can't rely on anyone. And it set me into being, I must be the only person in the world that can do this. Poor me. No one can help me. No one takes care of me. I'm the only one that does everything, blah, 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 blah. But the actual fault is that I'd lost the art of communicating. One, it was losing the art of communication in those that I should have trusted because I'd pushed them away more than I should have included them. The second one was actually prioritizing. Who cares about the little stuff that you're prioritizing? You're actually missing out on present moments and calm moments with your family. And it's interesting when you sit back in a seat of reflection, that when you stop creating the perfect persona, when you stop creating a filtered lifestyle that everybody you're showing off for everybody else, it's amazing when you strip all of that back what you actually see. And it's really interesting when you become curious about yourself in that, well, maybe it's okay if I just step back for a bit. Maybe it's okay if it doesn't get done today. Prioritizing the art of rest as a woman, as a mother, is one of the most imperative life skills you need to have because it's showing you that you are worthy of nurturing and nourishing yourself first and foremost, and that it's okay to rest and it's okay to let somebody else help you out, or it's okay to let it slide. The world's not going to fall apart. The washing isn't going to monumentally double in size in another 12 hours. You know, it's okay if you eat toasted sandwiches for dinner rather than a 3-course meal, because if your energy is off, you're better off doing quality over quantity, right? Stop doing everything if the people that matter don't even want it. And that is where being taken care of allows you to succumb to see this perfect image that you need to be. And I know that this was an obstacle that I had to overcome as a wife and as a mother when our communication broke down, is that I was so busy making sure everybody had everything and creating the perfect feeling that it was so disjointed and disconnected that it felt broken. And nobody was actually being seen or heard or appreciated or loved. And I thought I was doing the right thing by making everybody, by being the savior, essentially. And it created resentment, it created anger, it created frustration and exhaustion. And it was pushed to the point where everything fell apart. And all I ever wanted was someone to take care of me, someone to love me, someone to see me. But when I wasn't giving that out to the world, how in the world was I meant to be receiving that if I wasn't prepared to do it for other people? So I was living a contradictive life. I wanted so much from everybody else, but I was willing to give very little in that respect. And that is something that over the course of the last 12 months has been really, really important to me. And if you've followed on before, and if you're a part of my Imperfect Master mini course coming up in a couple of weeks, it's going to be a major theme going through that we must, as mothers, live in contradiction with ourselves. And what I mean by this is, if you are telling and showing and demonstrating to your kids that they need to prioritize themselves, step away from something that doesn't feel good, don't sit with people that don't reciprocate their energy or take care of them, or if they're going to be putting themselves in a situation that is uncomfortable just for the sake of keeping face, yet you are doing the exact opposite, how is that message getting across your kids? Okay, we teach everybody around us how to love us, how to talk to us, how to treat us, how to nurture us, how to take care of us by the way that we love ourselves. We talk to ourselves and we nurture and take care of ourselves. Okay, if we come across as being a pushover because we don't prioritize our health, our mindset, we don't prioritize working on ourselves on a deep spiritual and personal development level, how are you showing the people around you to take care of you? If you're not bringing people along for the journey with you, if you are not showing them the good, the bad, the ugly, the fantastic days, the difficult days, the days where you actually brave enough and called in sick and rested your soul because it's exhausted and she can't do it. If you're not doing that, you are showing people that you are not valuing your time and that they're going to just keep taking, taking, taking. You are living in such a masculine state of mind and an energetic field because to you, life is just a to-do list. To you, life is just ticking things off. If you say yes to everything, you are saying no to the most important people in your life. If you say yes to everything, even though it pisses you off, even though you crack it every single day, even though you are bitching and complaining about having to do it, what message is that sending to one, the people that you're involved in, and two, the people that are around you? It means that you don't have a boundary. It means that you are not living in alignment with the person that you want to be. Because the person that you want to be, who sits on that beautiful shelf in the supermarket, and I did a live video on this the other day, the future version of you who has the mindset that you want, that has the love that you want, that has the bravery that you want, is you today, but she's simply drawn the line in the sand and called herself out on her own BS. You know what you need to do in order to be the future version of you that is brave and that is loved and that is seen and heard. Okay, bit of tough love. If you want to be taken care of, you know, ladies, exactly what you need to do right now. Okay, it is not asking 65 people around you what you should do for an opinion. It is not shuffling papers around your desk to look busy when you're not. It is not starting drama and getting involved in other things because you are bored and tired of your own circumstances. Okay, it is not any of those things. You must start being brave. You must start listening to your options that are coming up every single day. If you feel stuck, act on it. Get curious. Why are you feeling stuck? If you're in business for yourself, why do you feel stuck? I had a chat with a beautiful friend of mine the other day, and we were talking exactly about this, and it was really interesting. We both needed to hear it. If you feel stuck, stop playing the victim and decide, is this business that you have created for yourself, whether it's a side hustle, fully fledged business, perhaps it's a career role that you're bitching and moaning about, is this role what you really want to do? Because if not, that's cool. Chuck it in and start something else. Change your job, change your role, change your hours, quit the business, leave the team, whatever it is. Stop being a victim and expecting people to pat you on the back and give you a kiss on the head and tell you it's going to be okay. Because what you're doing is creating an exhaustive energy flow that is, again, repelling people around you. So please stop. Please stop being the victim and then coming around and being the savior for everybody and then wondering why you're not where you want to be. Stop creating a busyness that is shuffling papers around your desk every day to create a persona that you are so busy and so important. Because all you are doing is missing the quiet moments, the calm moments, the fun. Okay, you're missing those moments because you're too busy showing the world how busy you are. And none of us are ever that busy. The key to true success, the key to true fulfillment, the key to us as women, mothers, wives, to feeling like we have made it is balancing and getting into rhythm with your masculine and feminine energy, but promoting your self-worth and time, that you value yourself and your time above everything else, and that rest is an imperative part of your daily habit. So if you're waking up 3 hours before the kids to watch TV and yet you are complaining you don't have the energy Or if you are waking up and you are completely exhausted, yet you are not nourishing yourself and drinking water and sitting outside and getting fresh air and challenging your mind, you are never going to break the exhaustion cycle. You are just going to replicate that and then add in continual caffeine because you are constantly tired. The reason you haven't broken out of that rut, the reason that you are still feeling that you are scraping the bottom of the barrel every day, you are constantly exhausted, is because you haven't got to the story as to why. You haven't gotten to the originals. You're waiting for the band-aid effect. The band-aid effect has been what's working your whole life. Are you willing to keep ripping that band-aid and reapplying a new one? Or are you going to sit there and amputate the part of your life that is causing the pain so that you don't ever have to deal with that again? It's a simple question. And that is where you really get to get curious when you start saying, perhaps I need to take some time and invest energy and time listening to somebody or get involved in a community that is not going to just pat me on the back and kiss my forehead. They're going to give me examples of, okay, they've done it. They've been able to allow people to take care of them. They've moved past their struggles, their limiting beliefs, their inadequacies, their failings, their whatever it is. And they're living a life that I want to aspire to in terms and energetics, in terms of time blocking, in terms of managing her roles as a wife and a mother and as a woman. They're the people that you need to surround yourself with and ask what they've done. Have an honest conversation that is truly void from emotion of you sucking in that emotion and asking, what did they do? Where did they come from? How did they get there? Because they're the women that are going to help you allow your walls to come down so that people will take care of you, so that you will stop comparing yourself to everybody else and you can stop thinking that you are not enough. You can start being the real woman you want to be because you've broken the habits and the stories and you've cut it all out. You stop the crappy stories you're telling yourself as to why you can't. And then you're breathing in all your confidence so that you are able to write part 2, chapter 1, without the opinions, without the judgments, without the yeah buts, and without sitting back going, I'm not going to post that because I think 6 people might judge me for it. Nah, they're not your 6 people. All right. Stop worrying so much about what everybody else is doing and start worrying about you and what you can do to nourish yourself, your family, your communication, your intimacy, your passion. Once you start focusing that energy into a place where it is going to come back to you, you will start to feel taken care of. You will start to feel heard and seen and not judged. And you'll start to listen to yourself and stop justifying why you want to do things or don't want to do things. That's the important part. That is the power of joining mini courses. That is the power of listening to podcasts like this. That is the power of listening to everyday women who are every day overcoming something and getting better than they were yesterday. And if you are still complaining about what you were going through and it's been 12 months, you have not grown as a woman. What are you letting your kids know about? What are you showing them that growth is? Okay, do you want to challenge yourself and show them what you're actually made of? Do you want to blow them away by what you are capable of? Or are you going to show them that being a woman and a wife and a mother is just obeying the rules for the rest of her life? Or do you want to challenge that thought process and be a little bit more? Because being more is okay if you've allowed yourself to be more. And that's what being strong is. Strength comes from setting boundaries. Strength comes from quiet. Strength comes from scraping the bottom of the barrel, knowing where you don't want to be, knowing where you don't want to sit, that you're forcing friendships, relationships, everything, careers, jobs. You're forcing stuff instead of sitting back going, how is my body reacting? Why? It's interesting that my body is reacting this way. Okay, that is where strength comes from. And you will attract your new people, or you will attract the people that want to grow with you when you step out of that. Most of the people that are around you judging you are feeling so insecure because they really want to be brave like you. They're judging you because they know that they really deep down want to do what you're doing. They're just stuck in their own cycle at the same time. So stop comparing to what everyone else is doing. Stop complaining that you are not loved, that you're not seen, that you are not heard. Do something about it. Have the conversation. Approach the question. It's going to be hard. Ask. Have you actually asked those around you to take care of you, to nurture you, to love you, to respect you? Because if you haven't, why are you complaining? Because they don't know. People only know what they know. And sometimes you've got to put it out there in black and white with neon lighting all around it because they just don't. They don't see outside what they need. Okay. So be brave. So if you want to be taken care of, ask to be taken care of first and foremost. Set the standard of what you want. Show people what you want. Give examples. Reward behavior. Pull up behavior that's not right. Okay. Do stuff that sets your soul on fire. Align yourself with people who are going to help you grow and move away from resentment and guilt and lack. That is what is going to nurture your soul and allow you to feel safe enough to drop the wall that lets light into the shadows. That is what is important. That is what Imperfect does. That is what the Confidence Collective of products and suite of services does. That is what me, Claire Burt, has done as a wife, as a mother, as a woman, first and foremost. And that is what I continue to do as a confidence and identity coach. I help you have those hard conversations because you are holding yourself back listening to your own BS. Okay, is that story true? So if you're feeling like this is a conversation you needed to hear, please let me know in the comments. I want to know what has come up. I want to know what feelings you feel triggered by. I want to know, has this nailed that feeling that you is just indescribable? Okay, I want you to get into rhythm of your energies so that you feel comfortable and loved and being taken care of, because it's a really powerful feeling when you can relax around the people that you love the most. It creates a sense of imperfectness that is just amazing, that I want every woman to feel. So like I said, leave some comments in this podcast, DM me here at Inspired Lifestyles if you feel, but be brave and let me know how it's landed. Perhaps it was too much, and that is interesting and that is great as well, because maybe you're not ready to hear these conversations. Maybe you are. But ladies, thank you for joining me. I hope that you take some code words out of this and understand that weakness is not allowing people to take care of you. It's not a weakness at all. It is such a strength. And your body will relax. Your body and soul will relax and rest. And that is what nurturing is. So I hope you take all of this on in any capacity that you feel. And I look forward to chatting to you in the next episode.